I am an American, born in freedom where the eagles fly. A rootin' tootin' flag waving citizen, proud to say I will be till I die. I love to pledge allegiance, one nation under God. If you can't say it with me, then you're free to leave, my God. 'Cause I am an American, my blood's red, white, and blue.
Last year when I was here, I told the left-wing liberals and Democrats to be careful of the words you say. Keep them soft and sweet, for you never know from day to day which ones you'll have to eat. And apparently they did not get the message because they're still calling us racist. So I'm here to tell them that it's time to make them eat their words. On September 12, 2011, I filed a class action lawsuit against President Barack Obama and the Democratic Party. When Maxine Waters told the Tea Party to go to hell, I said, thank you for the invitation, but we don't want to come to your house. Even though their history actually starts in 1792, if you look at the Democrat website today, the first date mentioned on their history of the Democratic website of history is 1930. The news media should ask the Democrats, what happened to those 138 years that you left off your website? You didn't want blacks to know that you were the party of white supremacy. You didn't want blacks to know that you were the party behind the Ku Klux Klan, that you were the party behind slavery, you were the party behind Jim Crow. You left that off your website. Well, in our lawsuit, we're going to ask the court to make them put every history, every year of their history on the website so that people will know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. You see, this lawsuit is not about blacks or whites or Democrats or Republicans. It's about human decency, respect for life, healing, reconciliation, and our love for mankind. You may fool this whole world down this pathway of life and receive pats on the back as you pass. But your only reward will be heartaches and pain if you cheated the person in the glass. God bless you.
We have seen the cry of millions in Iran and Honduras, and we have seen our government maintain silence in the face of murder and incipient tyranny. We have seen the butcher of innocents in Israel, and we have seen our government side with the butchers, and we have seen our government kowtow to each and every one of them. But we must not kowtow. We must fight for our principles around the world. There are those who say that we need a kinder, gentler version of liberty, a version of liberty that requires us to sacrifice that liberty in favor of redistributionism. There are those who are going to say that we voted for change and that fundamental change must be undertaken. And to those people, we say this: we too seek change. We seek restoration. Restoration of the freedoms our forefathers fought and bled and died for. Restoration of the liberties that will make us secure. Restoration of the principles that are worth fighting for. To those people, together we say, we have not yet begun to fight.
I don't know. Recently, for the past couple of years, I've been pretty bugged by this new thing called the New American Status Government. And it is weighing on my back. I tell you, there's 3 words that I have for my feeling of it. It is, I have had it. I have had it with them getting wealth distribution, socialized medicine, taxpayer-funded abortions, our military diminished, worldwide apologies, and that I need a toilet that doesn't flush in order to save the planet. I've been around long enough to know the planet's in pretty good shape. I've had it with living in California, one of the most oil-rich locations on the face of the flippin' planet, and I have to shell out more money for gas because the eco-freaks don't allow us to drill here. I've had it with giving our billions of hard-earned dollars to friends of this administration for bad business ventures, i.e., green jobs. I have had it, I have had it, I have had it. Your liberal, fake eco-policies are the highest cause of death among African children. Your liberal agenda has destroyed the black family, rendered the black father all but extinct, created generational dependency on the government, which resulted in lack of drive. Your liberals came along with offering them phony hope and change, and all they got from it is the lowest economic numbers in years. And if you believe in that, you say with me, I've had it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
It's time in the 21st century to match a consumer-driven economy with a citizen-driven government. Will lead to unprecedented prosperity and will ensure that the United States remains the world's leader. This is why I've introduced legislation, H.R. 2889, not to determine what we call Social Security, but to solve it. And it has been estimated by the Chief Actuary of Social Security that it will constitute the greatest reduction of government spending and debt in history. That when it comes to the failed Wall Street bailout banks and the lack of access to capital, we've known all along there is only one thing too big to fail in the United States. It is you, the American people. We are also going to, as we always have, understood that we are a nation not only in economic stagnation, but we remain a nation at war. And we will never flag or falter or fail in our support for the brave men and women of the United States military who are defending our liberty and expanding it to others around the world. The United States of America remains a force for moral good in the world. We will continue to be a virtuous, prosperous, purposeful republic composed of the sovereign people whose greatest love other than God is each other and their children. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you for all you do.
Let me ask this question. Whose bright idea was it? Who was sitting back in some congressional committee room, hitting their head in the middle of the night saying, I know, when mom and dad die, let's take away half their stuff? Who thought that that was a great idea? Because that's exactly what the death tax is. But on January 1st, 2013, it hits a new permanent rate of 55% after the first $1 million. Douglas Holseek, former director of the CBO, Congressional Budget Office, says that if we get rid of the death tax, we add 1.5 million jobs to the American economy. In the House of Representatives today, the Death Tax Repeal Permanency Act of 2011 is H.R. 1259. It is the Brady-Ross bill. That's Kevin Brady from Texas, Republican, senior member of the Ways and Means, and actually Mike Ross, the chairman of the Democratic Blue Dogs. This is a truly bipartisan bill. It will kill the death tax. Thank you.
Pick a ground-up organization and get involved on the local level, in your grassroots local levels. Go to your tea parties, get on Facebook, get on Twitter, and work. Do stuff, you guys. You can't just yell at the TV anymore. If you remember one thing from this tea party today, remember this. Remember that you matter. This movement belongs to you. This moment belongs to you. And if we keep working really hard, morning in America will belong to you. God bless you, Beverly Hills Tea Party, and God bless America. Thank you.
All civilizations have a slow and steady rise until a certain civilization reaches the height of its powers, at which point it seems absolutely untouchable, and then with a remarkable speed,
that civilization collapses from within. It happened to the Babylonians, it happened to the Egyptians, it happened to the Greeks, it happened to the Romans, it happened to the French, to the Spanish, to the British, and every indication is that the United States of America is in exactly the same place. And if it weren't for the fact that we are a fundamentally different kind of country, I'd be out in Montana stacking up on baked beans. But we're not going to follow that pattern, and let me tell you why. I came up with 7 things that identify what we believe. I think the first thing that conservatives believe is they believe in the idea of small government and private enterprise. Big government means no competition. Competition and competition for business means that everybody gets treated better. I think the second thing that most conservatives have in common is they have an innate distrust of elitism. Elitists believe that 10 guys sitting in a building 3,000 miles from here know more about running the gas station just down the street than the guy that runs the gas station just down the street. Conservatives believe in the idea of wealth creation. Wealth can be created out of thin air, and the people who create the wealth are the heroes of this society, not the villains. Conservatives believe in natural law. Natural law is fundamental to understanding America. What does that mean? Natural law means that there is a belief, it's a political belief system, it's a philosophy that says that there is a kind of law above political law. That is the law of God or nature, whatever you want to call it, but everybody agrees that nobody wants to be murdered, and nobody wants their stuff stolen, and nobody wants to see their children molested. Everybody agrees on this. Natural law says that the rights that you have were given to you at birth when you came into the world, and the government can't take them away from you because the government didn't give them to you. Conservatives and Tea Party conservatives are in favor of the idea of legal immigration to this country. Legal immigration. Conservatives believe in gun rights because they know without the Second Amendment, the other 27 amendments are just worthless. We have a Second Amendment to protect ourselves against our government. That's why we have that right. The founders understood that when push comes to shove, they wanted the pushing and the shoving to be in the hands of the people. The seventh thing that we believe, I think, is in this idea of American exceptionalism. We are not a great country because we have an exceptional military. We have an exceptional military because we're a great country. Economically, the United States, 5% of the world produces 26% of the total economic output on the planet. The United States produces more raw science than the next 6 countries combined. 100% of the world's top grossing movies are a product of American studios and spoken in English. So, why is America so exceptional? It's exceptional because we believe in limited government and free enterprise and the quality of life that produces. So I'll close with this. What is it about America today? Where are we? What do you think we are? Well, when people ask me that question, I say, if I had to tell you where America is today, I think we're the Titanic. And people roll their eyes and they look down and they get very upset about this. Let me tell you about the Titanic. That ship deserved to come home. That ship was the product of everything that we should admire. Innovation, hard work, vision. So many innovations on the Titanic. And while people think that the Titanic was made for John Jacob Astor to parade around and have cocktails on, the economic model for building that ship was to bring people to freedom. It was designed for the immigrant trade at the beginning of the 1900s. That's why Titanic was built, to bring people to freedom. And now she sits at the bottom of the ocean rusting into the mud. Titanic sank because that iceberg went all the way down the side of that ship and caved in compartment after compartment after compartment after compartment. And we see a gigantic iceberg of socialism out in front of us now that's doing the exact same thing to this country. My friends, we have one opportunity because the chance of steering around this iceberg are gone now. We have one chance left. And our one chance left is to put in all the power we have, aim right for the center of that, and split that son of a bitch right in half. Just hit it as hard as you possibly can. Because I know something about that iceberg that you probably don't know. That socialist iceberg is hollow. Let me prove it to you. How many of you out there are members of the armed services, have relatives in the armed service, or veterans, or are related to about it? Raise your hands. Okay. You are the steel bow of that ship that is going to split this iceberg in half. And it's a great pleasure being here with such American patriots today. Thanks very much for having me. We'll go out and get some votes.
God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. bless you, folks. Let's do this again.